So I've decided to do a film review on Attack on Titan, the finale, which is a two-part episode special that you had to watch in order to finish the actual anime. So let's get started. So let's talk a little bit about the plot. Like, how does everything lay out? Well, I can't provide an entire recap, or else this video would be about 10 minutes long because I tried this already. So how the story is kind of laid out is the beginning scene shows the rumbling, its devastation, everything that happens, and it uses some very destructive scenes. We'll talk about that in a moment. As we kind of build up to the climax, we have them kind of fueling up a plane to go find Eren in the rumbling, have a battle that will ultimately determine if they win or lose and stop the rumbling. And then we kind of wind down into like the falling action, which is kind of showing the peace that comes afterwards. But the end scene shows that the end lesson for this is no matter what we do, history repeats itself. So Attack on Titan is done in this finale has been done in kind of like a 2D, 3D style that we've been looking at in class lately. And you can see this because it's some scenes, it's all 2D because it's usually during movement. But while the 2D characters have to move, sometimes they're moving through a 3D environment, or when you're looking at the camera and they're turning the camera so they can see all the different Titans during the rumbling, you can see this 3D model as the camera spins around the Titans through not an eye level shot, but more of a overhead view. And what also helps in these scenes is the lighting. And a lot of these scenes you're going to see like an orangey red kind of light, which gives off this feel of all the fire and destruction. When you see red, sometimes you think something bad, which is what they want you, what the author and studios want you to think, because this is what's happening in the show. A lot of dust is also being kicked up, so you see these particles shown throughout the entire show, and that really helps gather the elements of what everything's going on and how destructive things really are. And the colors that they have used also go along with the lighting. It's mostly debris colors throughout the entire show. And in fact, they keep this color spectrum of like this brown orangey kind of thing going, because at the end, near the end of the finale, they end up in Badlands, which are it's a dried up desert kind of place. And once they get there, they have to fight on Eren, he's a massive Titan, all made of bones, like a ribcage creature thing. And the techniques they're using to animate these scenes are using, like I said, these 2D, 3D models, but they're almost, if you look closely, it's like they're moving the models with the characters in opposite directions, just so you can get more speed and movement out of the characters, because they do a lot of different swinging and motions. They're zipping around all over the place, and it's hard to keep up with them unless the camera is on the same level as them. So you usually see either the most shots you're going to see out of this, there's more hip level, eye level, and an overhead view and a lower view. Those are most of the angles that you're going to see out of the entire thing. The person who made this all possible was the author of the graphic novel or manga or whatever you want to call it, Hajime Isayama. He made the original thing, and before Attack on Titan was Attack on Titan, it was called The Advancing Giant. Little fun fact there. And Another thing I'd like to add in here is the music that they put into these scenes, because these scenes really aren't possible without the music that was produced by Hiroyuki Sawano. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. Uh, I would say Japanese is hard, but English is just as difficult. At the I would like to just go over the ending of the show in general as a recap, because the ending is very bittersweet, and I do need to recap this because I think it'd be good to throw in here. So at the ending of the show, it is an end credit scene that is beside the credits, and it kind of rolls everything that happens after the finale has happened. It's showing how Parody is building up and becoming more peaceful over time and more modern. But as it becomes more modern, they start developing weapons of mass destruction, just as we have done today. And eventually, there's a war that breaks out, and this war kind of just destroys humanity, most of humanity in total. So, I think that's really the lesson of Attack on Titan, is that no matter what we do, history repeats itself. Like, Eren tried to do the same thing. He tried to uh, wipe out humanity, but it didn't work. So eventually, he was right, because eventually they would have wiped ourselves out. History repeats itself. That's the lesson, and thank you for watching.